What's up, everybody? Thank you for stopping by and hanging out. I'm Jared. This is the LVME. And you know what happened on Friday? We got some smoking new music from Tom MacDonald called Dirty Money, which means we're doing a smoking reaction today. Man, this thing is blowing up. Less than 24 hours or just over 24 hours, 1.5 million views. Tom is just up, and I cannot wait to hear what the hell he has to say this time. I'm in the mood for some Tom MacDonald today. I'm in the mood for Tom MacDonald to spit some truth, spit some controversy, tell us what's going on, and I cannot wait to talk about it in the comments with you guys. Please, friends, subscribers, Hangover Gang, first-time viewers, all of you, welcome. Listen, if it is your very first time rocking with me, know that I'm going to be pausing Tom's video here. We're going to be talking about these bars. We're going to try and break down what we're hearing, talk about the music, whatever. If that bothers you because you have not heard this song, Dirty Money, yet, then by all means, please click on that link right down there. Go to Tom's channel, give him a like, give him a sub, watch the video over there, then just hit the back button, come back over here and hang out with us. Now, without further ado, let's just dive into this, man, because I feel like Tom's going to have a lot to say. I did check and see that this album, or excuse me, this song is from the one of the two new albums that came out, which I have not had the opportunity to buy yet. I'm probably going to. I have every other album Tom has done except for that Shoot for the Stars one. So this is a brand new song for me, and of course a brand new video. Let's dive into this shiza, everybody. Here we go, here we go. Make this big screen. Make sure that sounds all right. All right, everybody, you ready? Dirty Money, Tom MacDonald. I like it already. Something about that reminds me immediately of Tom's it's not coming to me now. Whatever. It'll come to me when I start playing. It's a video, Hell of It. Reminds me of Hell of It. Maybe the way he's standing there. I think that's how he opens the Hell of It video, actually, is standing on a little thing kind of like that. Anyways, fuck it. Let's go.
They're angry that they'll never shut me up. I'm making more noise. Turn me up or turn me down, it's your choice. Black lives only matter when they got a corpse to exploit. Cause the media made millions off the protests for George Floyd. That's called ad revenue. They make cash selling you. All the crap in the ads what they broadcast. News. Ooh, the network full of liars got investment capital and segment sponsored by Pfizer. And the freedom.
Okay, 20 seconds in. Let's draw it. Ooh. Yeah, that's what I mean. Tom's got spitting shit to say. Let's talk about this for a second. Let's go back.
Only matter when they got a corpse to exploit.
He said black lives only matter when they got a corpse to exploit because they made millions of dollars exploiting George Floyd. Yeah, it's funny how all that has died down, right? Did the police violence against blacks just dry up? Did that whole thing go away? Or there's just no fucking clicks that can be made off that? And then he says right after that,
the media made millions off the protests for George Floyd. That's called ad revenue. They make cash selling you. All the crap in the ads what they broadcast.
He said they made millions off the corpse of George Floyd. That's called ad revenue. They make cash selling you all the shit around. Yeah, let's talk about that for a second, everybody. Let's talk about that because that has a huge effect on our entire society. And there's one person really that started this whole fucking problem with that, and that's Ted Turner. The shit that we're in right now with the news can directly be traced back to Ted Turner's greedy ass, okay? Because before Ted Turner invented or started, whatever you want to say, CNN in the early 90s, the news was a completely different beast, okay? Look, I'm a particular type, I'm a direct response advertising expert. So I come from the advertising world in my professional life. I've left that behind because I grew tired of it. However, I still have a lot of knowledge about this shit. So And what I'm saying is just factual, and it'll make sense to you when you hear it. Like the news prior to CNN, the news that you saw on TV was a loss leader for networks. They did not have those broadcasts in order to make money. They were more of a service that was needed to go along with everything else. The corporations, we had the news broadcast, we had little snippets in the morning. You would get an afternoon update, right? And then there'd be the big evening, the 5 o'clock news is what it was when I was growing up, okay? And then that shit would just be a repeat of the same shit at like 9 o'clock. And it'd be about an hour. Some stations it'd be 30 minutes. Some stations it'd be an hour. And that was a way to bring in viewers and provide a community type service almost, while hopefully directing them to all of the station's other programming, okay? Now, that doesn't mean that it was all pure and that the news wasn't tainted or spun or anything prior to CNN. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying overall, it was not a profit center for networks, for TV networks. Didn't look to the news to make any fucking money for them whatsoever. Okay, with a few exceptions for like long form news shows such as 60 Minutes and others that eventually started coming out. I'm talking about the broadcast news in your local area. Ted Turner comes around in fucking the mid or early 1990s, invents CNN at the same time that the Gulf War is starting, and we get a 24-hour news channel right from the get-go. So suddenly, the news is responsible for making payroll. The news is responsible for paying for your overhead. The news is responsible for the paychecks for on-air talent. The news is responsible for marketing for CNN. Suddenly, other competitors, they spring up, right? Now they've got to attract the viewers into their station. So how do you do this? With a 24-hour news cycle, you just have to become eventually more outrageous, and more outrageous. And you have to search for things that aren't really news and turn them into news, which we fucking see all the time now. And so now it's all about getting viewers and making money. So the news is highly corrupted because you have companies paying for what? The advertising. And it all boils down to Ted Turner's effing fault. I mean, that's not to say that somebody else might not have come along and done the same thing, but we can just trace it back to his greedy ass in the 24-hour news cycle that he started. And it's led us into this hot mess where what Tom MacDonald says right now is dead on truth.
News, the network full of liars got investment capital and segment sponsored by Pfizer and the freedom.
Yeah, and they got investment capital and segments sponsored by Pfizer. Yeah, we all saw the effects of that during the past few years, right? Jesus. Turn Tom up just a little bit. Oh, wait, I can turn my headphones up. I forget, I have this new mics set up here. I've been trying to make some channel improvements, which is a little bit hard since YouTube demonetized my channel for promoting dangerous content, which I can only assume is what we're listening to right now. But anyways, it won't stop what I'm doing.
Fighters, I feel like the left just plants them.
All right, let's go back.
Because the media made millions off the protests for George Floyd. That's called ad revenue. They make cash selling you all the crap in the ads while they broadcast news. The network full of liars got investment capital and segment sponsored by Pfizer and the freedom fighters. I feel like the left just plants them to infiltrate the right. It's extensive planning. Then it happens.
The freedom fighters, I feel the left just plants them to infiltrate the right. It's extensive planning. That's possible. That's possible.
Fighters, I feel like the left just plants them to infiltrate the right. It's extensive planning. Then it happens overnight. It's impressive branding. Make $1 million off of shirts that say "Let's go Brandon." It's a cash grab. Everyone's a lab rat. Amazon
making millions off of shirts that say "Let's go Brandon." Now he does have a bit of a point there. However, I do think that most of the people that were making money off of "Let's Go Brandon" would be individual people. Like if I had made a shirt and put it on my channel with some iteration of that. I don't think any major corporations were pumping out "Let's Go Brandon." I don't think like the Republican Party sold T-shirts. I mean, maybe they did. I don't fucking follow that shit that close anymore. But he could have a point about that.
To infiltrate the right, it's extensive planning. Then it happens overnight. It's impressive branding. Make $1 million off of shirts that say "Let's go Brandon." It's a cash grab. Everyone's a lab rat. Amazon made billions of dollars from sanitizer and black mask.
It's a cash grab. Everyone's a lab rat. Amazon made millions of dollars off of sanitizer and face masks or something. Yeah.
And that's that. Funny how the terrorists who attack always come from places that are oil rich and have gas.
Funny how the terrorists who attack always come from places that have oil. Yeah, that's pretty factual.
Democrats, they don't give a damn. What is this about? Our military trapped in the Middle East can't get them out. Heroes are. It's that funny how the terrorists who attack always come from places that are oil rich and have gas. Democrats, they don't give a damn.
I do, speaking on a rap level, I do like his pronunciation of attack in order to make it rhyme with gas, which could be also combined with his Canadian accent. I'm not sure. I don't know if that has anything to do with that, but it's a nice. He's twisted the word nicer to make it rhyme. I like it.
Damn, what is this about? Our military trapped in the Middle East, can't get them out. Heroes are the ones who had the
Our military trapped in the Middle East, can't get them out, or you could get them out in a terrible way, like the Biden administration did in Afghanistan. What the hell? Do y'all ever wonder about that? Do you ever wonder about? See, how can I say this? For a segment of the political spectrum that seems so anti-white, they certainly do seem to be very pro-supporting a war in a country that is what, like, I mean, are there any minorities in Ukraine? There's none that I'm aware of. I mean, my girlfriend was watching some 90 Day Fiance, and some dude named Caesar was on there over in the Ukraine picking up a girl, and they're all freaking out because the dude was black, and they'd like never seen a black man before. And I mean, they're very anti-war over here, protecting Afghanis, and then something very pro-war over here with this lily-ass white country. I mean, I just can't help but observe. I'm just an observation, just the observation. I'm not making accusation. Anyways, this just got me ranting already, right?
Damn, what is this about? Our military trapped in the Middle East, can't get them out. Heroes are the ones who had the Constitution written down. Y'all are using hero while describing Kyle Rittenhouse.
Ooh. Now, see, I like this because he is calling out both here. This isn't just shots lobbed at the left-leaning spectrum. He said, y'all are making a hero out of Kyle Rittenhouse when a real hero were the people who had the Constitution written down. Now, look, I agree. I support Rittenhouse in and of the fact that even when it first happened, I didn't see how the guy had done anything wrong. He was being attacked and he defended himself. And it was pretty sick how it all got spun into some race thing, which had nothing to do with it. His attackers were white. His attackers were actually the ones dropping racial slurs against black people. I mean, when I was a kid, I hung around skaters when I was really young. I used to want to be a skater. Like, you ever seen a skateboard? You ever picked one up, like a real skateboard? Like, you swing that at somebody, yeah, that's a hell of a weapon. That's like way worse than like a baseball bat. Like, you can't catch a skateboard on your hip. And anyways, I'm just saying the dude defended himself in a situation where you could make arguments as to whether or not he should have been there or not. He felt he was going there, according to him, to defend friends and family in his neighborhood type thing. But what I don't think is that someone defending themselves against violence doesn't make them a hero. Like, what he did wasn't heroic, and in fact, we shouldn't have ever even really heard about it outside of a little blurb, you know. And what was fucked up is that it got twisted into this thing where he got spun into this evil person, right? And then the other side felt like they had to glorify him then into the opposite, like a heroic figure, which he was neither an evil person nor a heroic figure, if you ask me.
1 cent, 2 cents.
All right, hold on, I want to pop that back a little bit.
Give a damn, what is this about? Our military trapped in the Middle East, can't get them out. Heroes are the ones who had the Constitution written down. Y'all are using hero while describing Kyle Rittenhouse. 1 cent, 2 cent, 3 cents, 4. We get less and they get more. By insult since we were born. They want money. Dirty dollars fill their pockets while our coffins fill the ground.
So dirty dollars fill their pockets while our coffins fill the ground.
They make profit solving problems they create to keep us down.
They make profit solving problems they create to keep us down. Isn't that true? I mean, that's so blatant and obvious with like nearly everything that's going on in society right now. They take what could be a nugget of truth and a nugget of a problem, and then they blow it up into some massive distraction. All right. And then we as a country and as a society, everybody's so busy paying attention to that humongous distracted problem that they created. Yeah, I don't know, everybody. I don't know, but I do know that Tom is spitting facts here, and that's what he's saying. That's what this video is doing, is spitting facts. Disturbing, true, controversial, yes, but I haven't heard anything that's like, nah. I mean, there's some that's like, yeah, that could be true. Like the whole, left infiltrating the right thing. Who's going to know? But
Dirty money. Dirty money. I don't want your dirty me for this song, it's all classified intelligence. Don't need to go to war to secretly be getting benefits when
You know, it used to be like crazy to think that they might do anything to shut somebody up who's spitting truth, but or even not necessarily truth. By they, I mean governments, those in power. You start spitting things that they don't like, you can get shut up. I mean, now look at Andrew Tate, and I'm not going to pretend that I know shit about Andrew Tate. I couldn't tell you if he's legit, a scammer, some mix of both. I don't know if he did some whatever crimes he's accused of or not. What I do know is from the outside looking in, a little bit of information I have is very controversial, and a bunch of people decided that they didn't like him, and then he got locked up without any real charges being brought against him and all the shit taken away, and they found a way to shut up somebody that they didn't like. Now, whether that's just crazy. It's fucking it's pretty wild. And to think that something like that could happen to somebody like Tom is not that far-fetched, man. How many musicians are out there speaking truth like Tom MacDonald, or speaking what he perceives to be truth, or even venturing into this fucking topic? I know that on the right side of the spectrum, there's a bunch of rappers that, you know, they get labeled MAGA rappers or whatever, which Rolling Stone tried to label Tom, which is fucking nonsense. But I mean, I'm talking people that are getting the type of attention that Tom MacDonald is getting. He's the equivalent of a mainstream artist almost at this point. I mean, he was only like 1 million views behind Tekashi 6ix9ine's new shit that came out on the same day as him. I checked before, and yesterday they were like neck and neck. I mean, Tekashi's got the power of a huge machine behind him. Tom's got him and Nova and his little fucking family crew. You know what I'm saying?
Russia launches rockets, we condemn them, but there's evidence a U.S. politician owns the screws. They might kill me for this song, it's all classified intelligence. Don't need to go to war to secretly be getting benefits. When Russia launches rockets, we condemn them, but there's evidence a U.S. politician owns the screws they're assembled with. Ain't no war.
There's evidence that when Russia fires rockets, a U.S. politician owns the screws that they're... Fuck, have I been in the middle of the thing this whole time? They own the screws they're assembled with. Shit, sorry if I've been hidden by the thing the whole time. I didn't go back and check. I got so into this song, man. I've been really looking forward to it when I saw it drop yesterday. I'm doing this video on Saturday. Yeah, the military industrial complex has their roots so far into everything that, yeah, there's so much money to be made off war. Don't you all find it odd? Like, no matter how you feel about Ukraine, okay? Don't you think it's a little bit weird that fucking nobody's talking about peace? I mean, I don't know how old you are watching my video right now, but just think back to the wars that we've had recently. Where are the calls for any type of peace? Tucker Carlson, who I do not watch regularly, and I can't claim to know his entire stance on this, but I did hear a bit of a snippet of a video where he was putting out, the ideas that we need to work for peace here, and he got labeled like a pro-Russia propagandist or some shit. I've heard Trump talk about peace. I'm hearing China talk some peace shit, which is... But don't you think that's weird? Like, the left was all about that back. Who was all up in the Vietnam? Where were you? If you protested the Vietnam War, what side of the political spectrum were you likely on? All the way up to the wars, George Bush's wars in Iraq. Then Obama became president, and the protesters dried up and went away, despite the fact the wars stayed going. That tells you a lot right there. All right, man. Tom's speaking a lot. Here we go. Let's get back to this video. Please sound off in the comments, please.
War on drugs, it's economic. You make money off an inmate, every jail cell is profit. Our prisons are privately owned. Illegal marijuana just mean kids smoking weed.
I'm sorry, I have to stop it again and run this back a little.
Owns the screws they're assembled with. Ain't no war on drugs, it's economic. You make money off an inmate, every jail cell is profit. Our prisons are privately owned. Illegal.
Privately owned prisons are one of the most disgusting ideas in existence. I mean, think about it. The fucking company's profits depend on beds being filled in a prison. That's so twisted. The less rehabilitation costs for prisoners, the cheaper they can make it to house a prisoner, the more profits they will make. The more they can get and the cheaper they can be with them, the more profits they will make. That's so fucking disgusting. I don't fucking care what your politics are. That should make you ill. That's fucking sick. And I've heard people in my own family talk about how prison should be privatized, and I just don't think that they have fucking thought that shit through. They don't stop to think about you can't fucking make someone's business, and not just like a private citizen, but a corporation, which is an entity. You cannot make their business depend upon prisoners, lawbreakers, American citizens being confined and the cheapest possible care and rehabilitation opportunities being given to them. That's disgusting. All right, sorry for the rant. Sorry for the rants, people.
But there's evidence a U.S. politician owns the screws they're assembled with. Ain't no war on drugs, it's economic. You make money off an inmate, every jail cell is profit. Our prisons are privately owned. Illegal marijuana just mean kids smoking weed turn to dollars in their pockets, let's be honest. Domestic threats in comparison to nuclear powers who hate the West is embarrassing. Still we
Domestic threats in comparison to nuclear threats to the West is embarrassing. Yes. Yes, it is. Absolutely. No explanation needed.
Domestic threats in comparison to nuclear powers who hate the West is embarrassing. Still we label truckers in a convoy as terrorists and confiscate donations. We have no idea where it is. A pipeline leaks.
Yeah, Canada went nutty with them fucking truckers shit, man. Holy fuck.
In a convoy as terrorists and confiscate donations. We have no idea where it is. A pipeline leaks, price of gas goes higher. Stock market crash, everybody gets fired. Economy is weak while we trying to beat a virus. $1 trillion in debt to China. We celebrate the smallest battles we're winning, so they can publish the headline that's gonna fuel division. But if we
celebrate the smallest battles we're winning, so they can publish the headline that will fuel division. I mean, to me, that's what all the headlines are about. I mean, the whole national discourse right now is about fueling division. I don't understand how the national discourse is being controlled by this teeny tiny minority. I mean, and they somehow label it that if you have like the slightest problem with the trend of anything going on, if you're like, wait a minute, this particular bit is a little too far, then you're just a bigot, a racist, a phobe of whatever. I mean, you can see that just going on right now in almost every aspect of culture that's making the news right now in America. It's wild.
We celebrate the smallest battles we're winning, so they can publish the headline that's gonna fuel division. But if we champion the crumbs, then it's crumbs that we're given. And we don't make any progress, we're stuck at the beginning.
If we champion the crumbs, then it's the crumbs that we're given. We don't make any progress. Yeah. True.
1 cent, 2 cent, 3 cents, 4. We get less and they get more. By insults we were born. They want money. We want dirty dollars fill their pockets while our coffins fill the ground. They make profits solving problems they create to keep us down. Dirty money.
I like this chorus from Tom. Good shit, bro.
Dirty money. I don't want your dirty money. Not enough soap to scrub, it's soaked in blood. It's all about the money. Every time we make a buck, they take from us. It's all about the money.
Sir.
The dollar runs our lives until we die.
Yup.
It controls your mind and it controlling mine. $30 fill their pockets while our coffins fill the ground.
Will say I like this video too. While I have enjoyed Tom's like end of the world video, you know, with the special effects and like Riot, some of the others he's done, I've always been a fan of like what was basically him and Nova and a fucking green screen. You know, like those old school ones. That's how we started with Dear Rappers when that shit dropped. And a lot of videos since then that they do are just a variation of that. And I mean that with the highest respect. They're excellent. I'm not throwing shade. And I like this kind of foray back into that. I like this whole song. I like this video, and I really appreciate the lyrics here that are so open to start a conversation, which is what I would like with you watching right now. Please sound off in the comments. What do you think? Do you agree? You disagree? What are your thoughts on the future based on what is happening and what Tom is talking about? Anything you feel like. I'll get back to as many of them as I can. I want to have a little conversation if we can. Oh shoot! I just bumped it back. I'm not sure where I was here. Sorry if we're repeating a little bit. All right, let's go.
And it's crumbs that we're given, and we don't make any progress. We're stuck at the beginning. 1 cent, 2 cent, 3 cents, 4. We get less and they get more. Buying sold since we were born. They want money. We want dirty dollars fill their pockets while our coffins fill the ground. They make profits, solving problems they create to keep us down. Dirty money.
I like the cha-ching noise in there. One of the many things I do outside of this channel is I'm an eBay seller, and so every time I make a sale, that noise comes through on my phone. So I like that noise.
Dirty money. I don't want your dirty money. Not enough soap to scrub, it's soaked in blood. It's all about the money, 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 money. Every time we make a buck, they take from us. It's all about the money, 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 money. The dollar runs our lives until we die. It's all about the money, 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 money. It controls your mind and it controlling mine. Dirty dollars fill their pockets while our coffins fill the ground. They make profits, solving problems they create to keep us down. Dirty money. Dirty money.
Yeah, this chorus is good. This chorus is pretty lit. You know, Tom gets some shade on his choruses. I've thrown some myself, but I like this one.
I don't want your dirty money.
Oh shit, I stopped right at the end. I like the effects on here. I think the Jared Potter dude is doing the effects. Good name there, by the way, Jared. And of course, another excellent job on Nova. She always does great work with these videos, man. Look at Tom up to 3.76 million. When I first subscribed to Tom, he had 700,000. It's 3 million since then. It's so good to see, man. It's good to see, not just because he's independent, because he has a message here that he's putting out, and one that's pretty important. It doesn't even matter if you agree with like the words coming out of his mouth or not. The conversation needs to be had, because you're not really hearing this fucking conversation anywhere else. The people that are supposed to be making it all seems to be right-leaning talk radio, which, I mean, they put their little spin on it. And then there's a lot of people who now get labeled as right-wing, which is pretty much anybody who doesn't agree 100% with the ultra woke left. It's crazy. If you don't agree with every last bit of their agenda, you're a phobe of whatever it is that they're talking about. So I appreciate Tom. I really enjoyed this song. I would love to know what you all thought about it, the lyrics, the music, the beat, the whole thing, Nova's work, everything. Please sound off in those comments right down there, and I will get back to as many of them as I can. And thank you all so much for fucking stopping by, for hanging out. And please consider subscribing. Please consider giving this video a like. And if you want to donate to the channel, there are ways to do that, from the PayPal link that's down there. There's a Cash App link down there. And there's also a YouTube thanks button. And I appreciate all of you that do that. And appreciate all of my subscribers. We just cracked 7,000. We broke 1 million views on the channel. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I will see you on the next one, all right? Peace.